Is that a little bug? Everybody's going to be off for Christmas this year. Yeah. Their bodies didn't find anything off last year. Yes. And we have to.
What's up, Slick?
What's up?
You watching some Road Wrestling here already?
Watch how Coach is hurting back there. The mystery disease, he said.
It's not hurt.
I had this happen in December last year. I don't know. That'd be kind of bad. And like maybe that and that's the worst. So that real weird real kind of way. So that's kind of what I don't think that's it. I don't know. No, I know what. Maybe what they do is call that. They had one there. They had one where they do how can they have? Kind of left off. How long did that last? So like there wasn't one thing. No, that's it. Oh no, they come right in. My older brother had that horse. Then actually show. Actually, not having show on me. Yeah. I was, you should do. You're gonna suck at. Sure. Oh, boy. relationships going?
Throw it in. No.
How's it going? Yeah, how are you?
Filming it?
Yeah. Okay. Okay, cool. Yep.
I saw your outfit, I just was very
Oh, I know.
How's your party?
You know what you're
Yeah, I know. Oh, yeah, no.
smart.
No, I didn't. How? How? Are you? Yeah, I am.
I'm gonna tell you, your last response, here's my thing, I always tell myself, I will.
Stop. Yes. Here. Anyway. That's true. Yes, we're talking about.
So,
No, she actually had,
okay,
what are they doing?
when I first met her,
I had $20 in my back. I was smart. You were being certain. I was not. I was. I'm not hot. I told my barbecue. I maybe not even barbecue. Okay. Well, what if they didn't? And I would have left, but that didn't happen, so I. No, on teacher literally saw me come out of the staircase. A guy named. Molly assigned me, I didn't know who we were. Yeah, meet for yesterday. Yeah, I mean, we're like two. Diana. And I did.
Yeah,
I was Yes.
I don't have my glasses on. You need to come closer.
Okay. One second.
One
second with no
They're really good. They're my first.
We know that.
Those are cute.
I don't know. Go ahead, you get.
There's nothing valuable in there. Except for my
I mean, we're all girls.
No, dude, I still have my hearing from
A bit awful.
They're my first acrylics.
Alright, guys. How did you get into it?
I still have my shirt.
So then people will gossip about it tomorrow.
Did I have it?
No,
There was a fight at the freshman one.
Oh, yeah.
Really?
Did you hear
Yeah.
about the freshman?
Apparently it was like
I got
AJ's
this
little
one.
sister.
What about that? Oh my gosh, did you?
One girl got it.
A girl from Marion.
Yeah.
The girl who, it was,
Didn't
who
start
didn't start the fight. Got it. It doesn't mind surprisingly.
Apparently she was
Happened.
bullying her in the class.
Right.
She brought it because they were dance, so she got tired of it because she was doing some of the rest.
What's she called? Could my late, I did something weird to my nose. Ever since last weekend when we did those drills together, right here. We started putting,
That's where I got it.
we started putting.
It's not like hurting when you're doing it. Has it been bothering you?
I mean, I really haven't been doing this.
I was gonna say just be careful. Because like after I took like that something off, like it has They've done like
Yeah, I think I like this.
like it's in ropes on it was like
This one's
I mean, dude, like no one said to me. I don't like. I don't like. It's like Lauren was telling me the entire time. Either you take a break and don't mess with it now, or keep integrating it. Yes, I would like as much as possible.
And that's.
Right. No, like I say, go through it today, but if it keeps hurting like that.
I was just like, oh,
Thursday, Friday. Are you gonna have it?
I don't know.
Because since this is going.
I will tell you though, so as long as we've been together, we've been talking about this.
I'm debating on whether I should just buy one.
I did.
But yeah,
I didn't want to
dude,
stop.
a week off. Because I was like, what I say, just sit out. Did you have?
Are there any others?
Yeah.
I literally went up to Lauren.
Oh, there's not.
My hips hurt. Like, sit. Okay.
I'm using it.
It looks so
Okay. She was actually the one that told me into sitting right here. Because I was like, I'm gonna keep going, I'll be fine. Okay, but I still scared her to go into the game.
Okay, which obviously they.
Okay, is Lauren gonna do it? No, it's your Jordan said.
Kate's never wrestled.
No.
I'm not going to right now.
I
love
We can do it all the time. Yeah, we do it all the time.
Probably try to catch it.
Yeah, we do it.
No, you don't. You really don't.
Then wrap off.
You don't want to do it over the phone. You gotta do that face to face.
No.
funny.
What do you say?
It's like, I would never have that.
Raise my.
What's the one where we, remember the commission? I don't know. It was up there. I can't do that.
I know, not from our part. I tried to do that with my nephew. That didn't work.
Oh, you land like that?
Right there, you may have seen.
You should try.
Oh, I know, for sure.
Yes.
Then you need to go ahead and do that.
Like I
All right, how's it going? How are you? Ready to go? Look tired. Need coffee or something?
Fix it how you want.
Ladies, I'm really disappointed. I thought you guys would be down wrapping out some push-ups. Really disappointed. I just thought you'd just be right in there. Or hidden. Look at this, look at this. Hey, Emmy, how you doing? Sweating already. Good to see you. Yeah, hey. Yeah. Oh, shoot, watch out.
Okay, it's supposed to be.
You got your shoes okay?
Okay.
That?
Yes.
Well, find out. Yeah, we'll go ahead and get going. I think we got a couple, get the shoes off, they'll turn in, but, we will get down to business here, so no time to waste. Good to see everybody back. Everybody that made it back, it's a little smaller group this week, that's fine. You guys will get some good individual attention. Coach, will you be, able to do the jog for me, okay? So, again, I'm Coach Murphy, Coach Steingraber, Coach Allen, Coach Braun is back, and so guys, we're here and happy to help you guys and learn some wrestling, okay? So we'll kind of keep progressing like we have through everything. Looks like we have some, who's here new for the first time? Couple? Okay, good. I'm glad you guys made it. Awesome. And keep bringing more. We'll be doing these through the end of the month on Sundays, okay? And so don't worry about it if you haven't been here, right? We've only been covering like real basic. And I say that like it's not important because it's really the basics are the most important stuff, but it's things that we can get you caught up to speed pretty quick on. If you're a little lost once we start going. We'll keep kind of building, but don't worry, nobody's gonna be left too far behind. We haven't gotten too far, which is a good thing. Taking our time, making sure we're getting some of these fundamentals down. Okay, so with that said, I think just for the warm up, we'll keep it simple. Just do a quick jog. I'll have Coach Steingraber lead a jog with a couple exercises in there. We'll stretch out, then we'll get down to some wrestling. Okay. All right. Questions, concerns, comments? All right, let's have a good practice. Go ahead and start jogging. Follow Coach Steingraber will start leading us. Some skipping. Nice and easy. All right, y'all up. Oh, Joe, I forgot to introduce you. Right now. That's all right. You want to remain. I forgot to introduce you. Right? Remain in the shadow. So, Daly, his daughter's one that I think. Oh, yeah, my God. Oh, let me not be here. You know what? I bet Carter would try some money. can. So you feel that-
His arms over your head, get work your shoulders here.
Shuffle
Big arm
out.
swing,
Outside.
big arm swing. Keep moving on. Yes.
So, his daughter is orange over here. Told us a referee.
I don't recognize him, so
Big
sure to
dude. He's one that built the whole ball on everything. They, swing mom, or what, Big Ten? Oh, you did? What, when stuff?
Yeah. If you just stand, motion, forward, wide, short
I do know
step.
last name, absolutely. Yeah. Can't remember one that came for
Hello.
a while.
My brother did.
Dan?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Older or younger?
Younger.
Younger?
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I didn't stick around very long, but. Yeah.
Hey, short.
All right, Josh.
Short steps. There you go, good. Back to Josh. You got it.
Hey, I got it here.
You're running already, huh? You got your track jersey on?
Straight that way and just stop and drop.
All the way through B. All the way through. Remember, now you go. Have somebody catch it. Good, not slow, not slow. Good. Drop your heel.
Right, stop. You can walk.
Walk it. Breathe it back down. Deep breath. Sometimes in a wrestling match, you get a little break, you got to bounce, new period. You got to keep control of that breathing. Get your heart rate back down. Focus. Good. Okay, why don't we take a quick minute here? We'll get a drink break. You gotta go to the bathroom, right in here on through those doors, and then we'll get a quick stretching after that. Hey, that wasn't jammed. Huh? Good. Crushing. Huh?
Once you bring it over.
Yeah. Oh, but you just, this is me going on.
Anywhere you want. Somewhere where it's safe and you can remember where it is.
How'd it go? Oh, yeah, you go to the doctor, you guys have to bring it out there. Hey, why don't you get a drink? We'll take 2 minutes. Everyone can just do a stretch, self-stretch, wherever you gotta get. Arms, legs, neck, back.
Please, you're all numbered up.
Hey, I'll better not.
We had a birthday party.
If I were to yell at you, would hear Anna.
2 minutes self.
Anna?
Tell me about birthday.
That's good. Good job.
So shoulders, roll those necks a little bit. Jeez. That's hurting my back just watching you do that. You might be half spider. Oh, yeah. You just sneak in here. Yeah, of course I want you.
Spider woman.
Oh, I was thinking on meeting the
Yeah, let me go back here.
Oh my God. What?
Please don't fall. Especially on me.
I'm not in middle school. I just, yeah.
What's your name?
Funny.
Oh, I've never seen that one on the website. That is a unique name. I like it though. I'm gonna grab you that some change for you.
Yes.
All right, hey, I think we'll go ahead and get started here if you guys are ready. Let's go ahead and spread out. Find your own spot. We'll start out some stance of motion. Got lots of room.
Yeah, use all
Spread it
that.
out, spread it out. Okay, full disclosure, I'm a little bit injured here, okay? So I look like I don't have to go to the bathroom or anything, but if I'm walking funny, I have some kind of strange groin injury. That's as much as a detail I'll go into. But anyway, I'm a little tight, so I just didn't want you guys making fun of me by walking around looking like I was holding the bathroom break in. But hey, we'll get right into stance and motion, and so we'll help you guys if if you haven't been here, right? And if you have, this is something we've pretty much kind of been doing every practice, and it's really something that most practices at some point do incorporate as part of a warm up or just a part of a drill, because staying in good position is so important. The most important part of our sport is being in a good position, staying in a good position, and part of that is being able to move while we're in position, right? And so we'll go maybe 45 seconds here to kind of keep an eye. Remember, feet wide, low. Always, if you're ever in question, wider and lower is always better, right? Get that chest down so our head's out there, our first line defense. Hands are out, okay? Don't want them up here going like this. Keep them waist level or lower, okay? And then it's short, choppy steps, right? So, and so one foot's moving, the other one's moving at the same time. Coach Steiger, I'll have you maybe do a little stance of motion. I don't know if mine will do it justice. Short, our feet are never getting wide. One foot's moving, both feet are moving, just like that, okay? Good. So let's go here for about 45 seconds. We'll see how it looks. If we have any comments, maybe we'll go short one after that. All right, go ahead and begin your good stance. Don't say go. All right, ready, begin.
Check that mat, make sure you're down low enough. Touch that mat.
There you
You
go.
have to bend and touch it, you're not
That's
down
good.
low enough.
Where are you guys from?
Those knees bent.
Okay, good.
Wide,
Good.
wide, don't go down.
Is this your first week too here?
Don't go
Have you
back.
wrestled before on the front? Oh, okay. You say you got a good stance there. There you go. Here. So bend your. So here's what we say. Don't let it reach your shirt. Put your chest down even more. Yeah, there you go. But still bending your knees. Good. Now you just get a little bit lower. Good. Short. Change the direction. Circle right. Circle left. And time. Hey, those look pretty good. Those look pretty good. I think I said it a million times last week. I gotta learn not to underestimate you guys. Keep thinking, like a deep press, how quickly you guys pick stuff up and remember it and implement it. So good. Hey, the next thing we'll do now, the next part of that is we'll work with a partner. We're gonna do that partner push-pull drill. Okay, so this is just another thing that we do to work on keeping our good stance, keeping our good motion. Right, and so one partner, if the coach is my partner, it's his turn to go. He stays in good position. He's not even going to reach up and tie it. He's just keep those hands down too. And I'm just going to be pushing, pulling, circling, just trying to get his feet moving out of position. Okay, and what coach is trying to do is keep his feet in good position, right? And then if he does get messed up or has a step or for whatever reason he gets out of it, he wants to correct that as soon as possible. So, I'll be pushing the shoulders mostly, then I'll come behind and get a bite here, grab behind the arms and pull, pushing, pulling, circling, just moving them, trying to get them to work on moving their feet while somebody's engaging with them, right? It's easy to sit here and do this. It's a lot harder when somebody starts pulling and pushing us to keep that good position, okay? So find somebody about your size who can break up harder. If you need one, let us know, we'll match you up. Come on, we should all be one big happy family by now, right? 5 or 6 here. You need a partner? Let's get you one. Why don't you come over here? And we're not wrestling full live or anything, so it doesn't have to be perfect.
Just keep working with them.
Yeah, we can work for you. There we go.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, we'll make it work. And then we'll go just a group of 3 here, okay? So we'll let so just figure out right now who's wrestling 1, who's wrestling 2. Wrestler 1, go ahead and get in the stance. Okay. Wrestler 2, you'll be the one that's going to be pushing and pulling here for about 30, 40 seconds. Okay, ready? Begin. Wrestler 2, grab it. Okay, you're going to push and pull it, pull it. Push it, pull it, circle. You want to get their feet all over the place. Make it hard for them. There you go. Move them, circle. Push, pull, snap. Good job. Good job. Okay, this looks good. Keep going. 3, 2, 1. Time. Good job. Okay, back from this side. Good job. Now we'll switch. Obviously, second wrestler will be in their stance, and then first wrestler will be the mover. So you're going to be the mover, right? You're just going to try to stay in that stance. So go ahead, wrestler 2. Get your good position. Feet wide. Feet bent. Hands out. And ready, begin. Here we go. Okay, go push it, pull it. There you go. Move them around. Get them up. Good job. Keep those feet wide. Good work. 10 seconds. Keep it up. Push, pull, snap, push, pull. And 3, 2, 1, time. Hey, good job. Good. All right. So hey, last thing we'll do here is just kind of a little game drill, right? So going back to working on our hand fighting, right? And so we've implemented a couple different techniques, right, that we use. We talked about getting wrist control, where basically, talk about doing a wrist roll, where I'm going to roll the thumb over the top. As soon as my opponent grip starts to break, I'm going to go palm down, snatch theirs. We've talked about going cross wrist. If I can't get that one free, I come and trap it, cross and trap it. That allows me to roll it free, and then I go to my baseball bat, grip, and then we've talked about inside control, if you remember. And we've talked about two positions there, double bicep, where I have control of my opponent's biceps here. I'm on inside control, which we always want to be, right? We're always fighting in here. Very few rare exceptions where we want to work from outside here. And then I also have head and bicep, where now I have one single bicep, but I'm going to bring that one hand around the neck, make sure my elbow is pointed down to the mat, right? So, and then of course we hand fight out of that, where we can still come underneath. Coach, there's lots of different options here, but the easiest one, coach can come underneath, gets his own, right? Same thing with double biceps. We keep coming underneath to fight for that position. So what we'll do using our hand fighting. If you got some other tricks, go ahead and throw those in there. But we'll do a game where we're going to do kind of like a hand fighting for points game. And basically, it'll be live, but you're not trying to take anybody down or pin anybody right now. You're going to try to get to this position behind him with our hands locked, okay? And so by using our hand fighting, pushing and pulling, maybe I'll get around behind here and get my hands locked. That's how we'll get a point for this one, okay? Really important. And I'm kind of speeding through this stuff so we get to some new stuff today. But really important, this push and pull concept, right? We have to get our opponent moving. So much of wrestling is feel and reaction to them to be able to make this stuff happen. Okay? So once you get your hand on them, you're always moving, okay? So we'll go here for 45 seconds. Keep your own score. And honestly, if nobody scores, that's realistic too. That's kind of a hard position to get to if you don't have no some moves to do it. But the main thing is what we're gonna be looking for is staying in your good stance, right? It doesn't matter how many times you get around them. If you have to get out of your stance, you got a position to do something weird to do it. Okay, so stay in that good position, wide feet, and then we'll just hand fight to see if we get points from them. Does that make sense? Okay. All right, go ahead and get your good stance here. We'll go about 45 seconds. Keep your own score. Pushing, pulling, moving up, trying to get around behind, get those hands locked, okay? Here, let's keep switching. Jaylee, you're out this one. What's your name? Huh? Jocelyn, okay. Unless you said Justin, you know, I don't know. Might be Justin, but I thought I heard it wrong. All right, let's go ahead and get in the. All right, here we go. Face up. And ready, begin. You're trying to be inside. You're trying to be inside. I'm behind your waist. There you go. Get inside. Move that, move that. Push pull, get around behind. Get around behind it. Push pull, try to get underneath. Push pull.
Change your level. Widen the arms.
And nice. Hey, good job. And that's kind of a tough one. I should probably put another point in there. Hey, I didn't look all the way through every week because I can't remember some of these tracks that start to blur together. If we went over arm drag, is that right, Bill? Maybe not, or we came up and dragged. Anyway, here's what we'll do. We'll do one more partner with that same drill. I'm going to add another way to score. Okay? So the one way is we get behind, we get that lock. The other way is if we can snap our partner down to the mat, either their hands or their knees. Okay? So this is one that's really, really realistic when we're talking about pushing, pulling, and also why we can't be extended with straight arms, knees, and have our weight going forward, because it's going to be a lot easier to snap us forward. Kind of like when we've done the knee touch, right? And so that's the other way. I can get behind coach like last time, but now if coach comes in too aggressive, he's just reaching and pushing at me, right? And I can just snap, get those hands down. I can get a point there too, okay? So get one more partner. We'll do one more of these, and then we'll get a quick drink. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Oh, coach, you got something?
Yeah, I do.
Let's not.
Hey, ladies, so watching the first time, one of the things that I notice, and a lot of times is with people that are learning this stuff, you want to be all tight, and you're trying to be all strong, and you're being all stiff, and stuff like that, and we have to stay loose. Okay, this is not necessarily a strength thing. This is a technique thing. Okay, so stay loose. Don't get all tight in there. Okay, it doesn't have to be who's strong is. Okay, so number one. Number two, try to stay away from cheek to cheek. Okay, cheek to cheek is not a positive position. Okay, it's not a position of advantage. All of this stuff is about being in a position of advantage.
This is what cheek to cheek would look like.
Here, right there. You don't want your hand cheek to cheek. Okay, nothing positive is going to happen there. Okay, so stay loose. Okay, don't get all tight, all stiff. Okay, flow. I always talk about flowing. Okay, and then go cheek to cheek. Okay, coach put in the snap. Utilize the snap. Push, pull, snap. Okay, really a big thing. What we do is what we teach. Okay.
So if you haven't already, let's get a new partner. Get somebody new. Somebody. It's okay to make a new friend. That's part of wrestling. Make some new friends, meet some new people.
What's up, babe?
Here we go. There we go. All right, here we go. Okay, we'll go one more.
Stay loose now. Don't get all tight.
Go ahead, hey, go ahead and get a good stance. I know you're ready.
Like that, Matt?
Yes, yeah. Check that mat. If you can't touch the mat, it's bend that elbow. It might be too high. All right. Okay, ready? Begin.
Here we go.
Same thing. Get in their hand fight. Push, pull. Push in, pull in. Try to get that little hand for back. Kick your cheek. Get off the cheek.
Wrist control as well.
There you go.
Get in your stance. Make contact. I want you to make contact.
What is that here?
Push and pull. Arm drag.
You good?
Yeah.
3, 2, 1, time. Hey, good job. Hey, wait, you know, it's kind of hard to get to some of those positions, right?
Just let him
You know,
know.
without knowing some of the moves that we get behind somebody, but that push and pull, that's always something that's going to be there and going to set you up for a lot of different attacks. Let's give your partner a little fist bump, tell them thanks. Let's get a drink, quick drink, give you a minute, and then let's get back to business here. Hey, Coach.
I've been here for.
It's all walk through. Okay. Hey, you guys are about ready. Listen up. We got one more review thing here, and then we'll get into some new techniques. Okay, I want to get back to the referee's position, give you guys some tools on the mat there. Okay, we haven't covered very much there. So last week we kind of tied together that penetration drop step, right? And then we turned that into a move. Hey, girls. And you know, just one of the more common takedowns in wrestling, just that double leg takedown. Okay, and so, but we also, whenever we're talking about doing an attack, we talk about the three parts: the setup, the attack, and the finish. Right? So we talked about that's where our hand fighting comes in a lot of times. It's for the setup. And so kind of the two basic ones we talked about last week was either doing that chop, where we can do that post, okay, on those arms to clear those, and we're going to level change as we do those, and then the penetration drop step comes in. So let's work through that part. So Coach's pocket here comes against inside control on Coach Steingraber. Coach can choose if he wants to do the pop or the chop. Double change, now penetration drop step, heads on the outside, right? Wraps around both legs. And now for the finish, if you remember, trail foot's going to come up, turn the corner here. And now Coach isn't driving. He's not going to finish straight backwards to the door. But actually he's going to take this angle and kind of run towards the dummies here. Okay, he's up to his feet, he's running. And then we want to try to flare those legs out. Okay, so we don't land parallel. And so one more time, one wrestler. Penetration step. Run it. Good. I'm gonna fix one thing here, Coach, on that. So when you do your step, don't step so deep on this one. Try to aim it kind of the same as his foot, and then that's gonna drive you. And then he's also, if you'll notice, Coach Steiger is also using his head and his neck is very important here. We tell the little kids to try to read the back of their shirt, so they're still using that head and trying to what we call turn the corner. Okay, because he can run forward faster than Coach into the step. So he takes a step. Now he blasts off that, starts running, short choppy steps, and then we're trying to bring those legs out, flare those legs when we land.
Guys, notice how when he drives through, took me down to the mat, he stayed on his knees and kept a good base. He didn't fall to his hip.
Yeah.
You want your opponent to fall to their hip, but you don't want to fall to your hip.
Yeah, and that's very important. That's something we see a lot when people are starting out. When they take something down, they fall to their side too. And then you're just in a scramble, right? They can roll on top of you and use that momentum. To save time now, I'm going to go to the second part of that, and we're going to drill both of these together, okay? And so at the very end of practice, if you remember, we had been talking about doing a sprawl, right? We showed how to do it without partner, circling up. And then we talked about what that looks like when somebody isn't under attack. We talked about stuff, sprawl, separate, and score, if you remember. And so remember we started in this position here. Right, Coach beat our hands. He did a good setup, obviously. We're under our last line of defense. Now, Coach Stenger doesn't want to just sprawl right here while his opponent's head's on the outside. He's still going to get that angle and finish, right? So really important. This all happens at the same time, the stuff and the sprawl. But as Coach Stenger goes and hits a sprawl, he's trying to stuff that head, get right here in his lap. Now his feet are wide, right there. So stuff, sprawl, and then he kind of was already did a pretty good sprawl there, but sometimes or a lot of times, we need to separate, make a little space there, and then work to get around, okay? Let's go one more time there. Coach Steiner, this time, really post off his hips and show the separation, right? So we know that we don't want to start circling until we got some clearance. There, he's gonna set, see how that little, remove his legs clear there. Now, post, block, go behind. So again, we're rushing through this stuff pretty quick, right? That we can spend we can spend the whole practice just on one of these techniques, just for time's sake. And so here's what we'll have you guys do, but we'll drill it quite a bit so the coaches can come around and help and kind of help tweak things where we need to. But you'll have a partner, and one wrestler will do the takedown, the double leg where they complete it. The next wrestler will do the double leg where they complete it. And then the next time through, we'll practice doing the sprawl. Okay, now when we practice the sprawl, just like these guys, they just start with one wrestler kind of on their knees there. We don't have to practice it from somebody coming in.
Just get to right here.
Yeah, so when we get to this part where you're going to practice the stuff, the sprawl, one wrestler will start in that position, right? And then both of you guys will do it, and then you'll go back and go back to doing the double leg again from our feet in neutral. I feel like that's confusing, but you guys are smart. Again, I keep underestimating. I get confused easily, so.
Usually being.
We'll help you out though. So each wrestler is going to practice the double leg tackle finish with the flare, and then each wrestler is going to practice sprawl, separate, sprawl, a lot of S's there. Sprawl, stuff, separate, score. Okay? And then like I said, we'll come around and help you guys out where we need to. Sound good? All right, get a partner, spread out, let's start working. 1, 2. So again, one wrestler. Then we talk about
Maybe start with every guy.
outside stuff. Come in instead of going knee up, step to the outside, and then go tap. If you're at there, go down.
You wanna go around both legs.
Start running over to the water. Yeah, there you go. See that angle, that's so important. Drive that side. You go down. Wait.
Oh, wrong way.
I want you to come up and grab her arms. I want her to
So this is.
another option, right? I don't want to. You can just come up here. Good. You're just gonna take this. So back to your back foot, or you right on the left foot. Okay. You'll just step your left foot. Go ahead. You end up in the same position. That one's a little bit easier. You don't the shot. You want this thing. So that's what I was just showing her. You don't go down the back. You do it. When we do those, you do it for no partners, you go like this. So what that is that means going right around your feet backwards. You want to penetrate foot, but that's supposed to go here. So I'm still in that same position. So now you're going to be driving towards. Does that make sense? If you want to slow down. Don't worry about the setup right now. Let's get this up to that. As you step there, if you want to just go right into the sprawl.
Or you're gonna now switch the sprawl.
Oh, yeah, they should just switch off.
I can't sprawl.
Throw your legs back at the same time. You want to push your head down and take your left hand and put it on the right hand. Stuff like that. You're now
Yeah, I think I just like really.
push, throw your hips back to get separation. Now step it out. Come around the waist. Good. Don't just pick her up.
We're feeling kind of pressing that double.
When you get to here, you want to go sideways and make it fall down.
Good. Take that head down. So your left leg can be trailed. Instead of dropping to that knee, I would get this is what the step on the outside. This one here. Yeah. Yeah, that's that back step. And then step. That way you step. Oh, I mean the red side. Good. Now go ahead. Well, that's good. That's good. You learn how to fall. Yeah. Now that's too far back. No, you're going to hit on your chest. Now, here on that. So at first, you're going to there you go. Now, so right, you can still grab your legs. Now you're ready to go. That's why we say stop, sprawl, and then we say separate. You don't want to start going spin while we're still close to their arm. You guys just gotta get used to it. Put your weight on it. So just start on your knees. Yeah, so you get down, joints. Yeah, kind of usually that knee. Your knee is on the mat. And then spin around. So kind of like, yeah, that's the case because you want this side. You want to have your so not like this, you're more like a hand right on the floor. We're going to show that maybe down. Take the mat. Yeah. No, not on top. We kind of call it like everything at the wall under your belly. Yeah. Basically, just trying to be strong. Matching up. That makes sense. You're not gonna hurt her. You're fine. You're gonna kick those feet back as you're skydiving. You want to smash her. You gotta get around the points now. Score. Get around all the way on. That's how you get good points. So that's why you separate. You get 4. You get behind. But that was good. No, I'm fine. You can't be kind of like. You can't worry about smashing it. I think that you give some burgers on bottom, they'll take a break. All right, hey, time. Hey, that was some good reps in there. You know, like I said, and if you need to grab a quick drink while I'm talking, that's fine. But like I said, you know, these techniques take lots and lots of reps, right? Thousands before it's gonna start really flowing for some of you. But that was good. I was really happy that everybody kept working the whole time too, right? So it's not just you do one, they do one, and then you kind of stand around and wait for something else. Here's what we'll do. I do want to wrestle a little bit of live wrestling from that position. Okay? And so we'll go with one partner. We're each going to start. Yeah, I have you guys. So we'll start kind of like we were practicing the sprawl there. One wrestler just took their attack. And so we'll kind of be from here. Okay? We'll go about 45 seconds and we'll switch and the other wrestler will get in that position. So we kind of each know a little bit basic concept of what we want to do. Right? If I'm down here, I need to step up, run that, you know, clear those legs, tackle. And then if I'm here, I need to stop, sprawl, triple score. Separate. I'll get it down. I'm not rolling off my tongue today. All right? And so, but then at the end of the day, wrestling's wrestling, don't overtake it, right? You want to be on top. You know, and so stay off your back. You get them on the back, hold them there. That's one thing that you guys do a better job of, but it takes a while. You look at our little kids start out of like someone will just throw somebody down and like look at them. You know, you don't get any point for that. You want to stay on top of control. Okay, and so even sometimes somebody will be on top and just kind of get confused and roll off of them and get back to their stance, right? And so you got to get that out of your head that you just want to smother this person like a wet blanket. You don't want to give them an inch to breathe down there. That's not always natural. Even like I saw you guys drilling and sprawling, right? Of putting all your weight on somebody and keeping it on. So anyway, let's get in that position with our partners. Like I said, we'll go about 45 seconds. Now this will be live, right? So now we're really wrestling, we'll scrap and try to hit each other. And then we'll switch and let the other wrestlers start that position.
Watch it get on the legs. You're trying to take it down.
One wrestler's gonna get in on the legs. Come over here. I mean, you get in on the legs. Somebody get in on the legs. Somebody get in on
All right, here we go. Everybody set? Everybody ready? Go ahead. Hey, wrap around both those legs, right? Head on the other side, your hips in, back straight, head up. Ready, wrestle.
Stop that head.
Stand up. No, you keep pressing back up.
Keep wrestling.
Spin out, I mean spin. Get on your knee and then spin.
Three, 2, 1, time. Good job. Hey, next one, if I stop you guys, I'll start you back up on your feet. Somebody take this way. Okay, so other wrestlers turn to get on your tap now. Good. Go ahead, switch up. Good. You guys switch ready? Yeah. Good. Yes. Get that good power line going. You don't want to be from your feet. What are you going to do first? What if you stop when it's falling? Start thinking. There you want your shoulder. There you go.
Stop when it's falling. You can start with your hand on her head right now. Even. Start with your hand on her head. Push her on your feet. Start with your hand on her head.
You sure?
All right, here we go. Ready?
That's all. Grab legs. Get behind you that way.
Stand up too high.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Time. Good job. Partner high five. So thanks for the strap. Thank you. Now listen, if you need just to get a quick drink, go ahead. Otherwise, we're gonna meet up on the red line here. Get some technique in. Grab a little bit. That goes my abs. It hurts like so. No, I wish it was something like that. But it happened in December, and they couldn't figure it out, and it just kind of went away. You guys don't come up here and grab each other's heads, right? You let every time you see them, what is that, man? Grab her head, stay low. Okay? We'll start working. Yeah, once you guys are ready, spread out on the red line and go all the way down. We're gonna get back to some referee's position here. Good work, good work. Time's flying. Means we're having fun. Okay, so hey, real quick before we start adding some stuff here tonight, I just want to do because we didn't do any referees last week, right? So I think we've only kind of introduced the positions. I can't remember how far we got. We might have talked stand up. I'm pretty sure we talked tight waist ankle to a breakdown in half. But let's just start with down position, a little review, and for some that haven't learned it yet. Down position. If you know what I'm talking about, go ahead and get down in down position. Show me what you got. We'll be on our hands and knees, something like this, right? Pretty good. Does anybody remember what, I always harp on one really kind of key principle from down position. Does anybody think they kind of remember that? You know what I'm going to say? Say it loud. Yes, as little weight possible on my hands, right? I want all my weight coming backwards. All my power is going to be in my core, right? My legs here. And we're always going to be pressuring back into our opponent off bottom because they're going to be pushing us forward. Okay, so if I'm already forward, then I got to go backwards and then into them. If I'm up just right here, then I can right away explode back into them. Okay, and so some of the ways that we do that is we put our shoelaces down so my toes aren't curled underneath, right? And I'm going to send my behind back on my heels as much as I can. I'm going to open up my knees, right? Kind of make a V here. So mine for me it's kind of like almost like a triangle. My toes kind of come in, but they don't have to. And then from there, I'm just going to gently put those hands down with the little weight possible on. Good. All right, and now for top position, Coach, want to come out here real fast? Yeah, yes.
How many of you are going to be wrestling for your high schools this year in the girls' season? Okay, that's great. One thing that you guys need to know when you get into competitions, these lines right here are the starting lines for a wrestling match. You guys probably already know the neutral position. You put one foot on the line, right? You got to have part of your foot on that line. You can't be behind it, and you can't have your foot in the neutral zone. So that's how you start on your feet, right? When you're in the bottom position, you're going to be facing the referee, whichever side the referee's on. And these lines are your guides for how you set up. So your knees have to be behind this first line. You can't have your knees up here inside the rectangle. Knees behind the line, and then your palms have to be up in front of the line. Okay? So that'll give you a good basic starting point You can't have your hands or your knees inside that area, okay? And then the penalty for that is if it's an improper starting position, if you get lined up like this, and the referee says, "Are you ready?" and you go, "Yeah, I'm ready," he'll give you a caution. And if you get two cautions, you get two cautions with no penalty, and then after that, every caution, your opponent gets a point. So you don't want to get into where you're giving free points away because you're not familiar with the proper starting. So knees behind the line, hands in front of them.
Too hard to get those points, give them away, right? Same thing with lock hands, we should probably cover at some point. But that is important, and that's really relevant, because if we don't talk about that, you're like, okay, well, yeah, just put my hands down here, barely, right? I'm good. There's no weight on them. So you do have to kind of visualize that to know that you are going to have to be extended out there at least, 8 inches, something around there.
You young girls at kids tournaments, the referees are going to show you how to do it. But at the high school level, probably JV and varsity, they're going to expect you to know that. There's no warnings.
Yeah, good point. All right, now, so real quick, let's talk about top position too. Okay, and so Coach Steiger, why don't you face the TV so we kind of have this angle here? And so this one, you just kind of have to memorize where everything goes, right? And so, the big thing I kind of focus on is trying to talk about having, I call it a power foot. Basically, I'm going to have one of my feet lined up behind my opponent's feet here, okay? Because I'm going to use that leg, right, to push or drive forward when the referee says wrestle. So I talk about lining up power foot about 6 to 8 inches behind. And then we just keep saying over and over to the little kids, foot, knee, elbow, belly, foot, knee, elbow, belly. I used to say it was sneb, and then somebody pointed out that knee doesn't start with K, and I messed up my whole thing. So foot, slide this knee up kind of next to their knee, get a C grip, right, and put that right on the elbow. That's another thing you'll get cautioned for quite frequently. We see it. Kids will kind of lay their hand on the wrist or on the shoulder here, just kind of back here. And so one thing you get cautioned for not being on the elbow correctly. The other point is that doesn't really convey you're ready to go and take control of this arm or this person if you're just kind of laying it up here, not mattered. I get in there, I grab that thing, right? They know that I'm on top and this arm's coming home with me. Chest on top, I'm gonna pressure forward a little bit, trying to help them get that weight on their hands. They don't have it. And then I'm gonna reach around, belly, I'm looking up and watching for the referee, and that's kind of where we start.
The palm of your hand's got to be in the belly button area of your opponent.
Okay.
You go beyond the belly button, that's a tight waist, and that would be a caution.
Okay.
Right in the middle.
Good point. So if my hands come on here, so if I come all the way over here with it, look, that's giving me an unfair advantage. You can get in trouble there. So it's got to be, we can say on the
Part of your palm
on the
has to be on the belly button. So the furthest you could go would be the back of your palm on their belly button. That's about as far as you can go.
Okay.
And that's gonna be referee judgment. So just go palm on belly button. You'll be good.
And so before we start working, let's just make sure everybody understands that. We don't have to get all around the room. Just with somebody right next to you. Let's just practice one wrestler getting on top. If it looks good, then we'll switch and have the other wrestler. And then we'll get down to breaking down some technique from here too, okay? So, good. Knee, elbow. Good. All right, good. Go ahead, switch that up. So yeah, you gotta get the knee down.
So get ready to put your chest on her back and put some weight.
Yeah, there you go.
Chin in the middle.
Good. So here's what you say there. Well, I would like this foot a little way behind her. That way you can push off of that to try to bust her forward. Otherwise, that's good. All right, who has it? You jumped on top yet? Can she get on top position? Did you do it yet? So you'll just put one foot behind. That's where I usually start. Doesn't matter which one. Yep. So if you want to put that right foot, just kind of right where it's at. That's fine. Look out for your left knee next to her knee. And then now, nope. So you go foot, knee, and then elbow. So if you get your C grip on the elbow on this side, you just go like this and grab her elbow. Yep, right there. And then the other one wraps around her. That's it. Perfect. You got it. You're all right there. You got it, right?
That's how to play. That's how to play.
Good, Emmy. Good.
I mean, one of the people that we also
All right, that's good. That's probably good, right? It will help you the next part. I want to make sure we get to some techniques here, okay? So real quick, we're not going to practice it. If you were here 2 weeks ago, you'll remember we talked about there's usually going to be 2 steps, right? When I'm trying to get this opponent on their back to pin them, right? Now, one thing I'm never gonna do, I didn't tell some of our wrestlers this yesterday even, can't remember what group it was, but sometimes when you don't know a lot to do right, you're like, I need to get this person on their back, and even in the stomach, I see wrestlers trying to pull, or do this and pull them backwards. That's a bad idea. Never, like I said, we want to be pressuring forward, okay? So don't start pulling, trying to roll them this way, okay? Always forward, okay? And so if you remember, we talked about, usually I'm gonna want to get this opponent, before I try to roll my opponent on the back, I want to get them, their chest and their hips down the mat. We call that a breakdown, right? So we go breakdown and then we go to our turn. So 2 weeks ago, we talked about a simple breakdown called a tight waist and ankle. If you remember what that was one where I'm here, my elbow hand kind of comes across like a seatbelt. At the same time, the belly button hand's going to slip down to this far ankle, and I'm going to elevate the ankle to the butt, drive. Usually this person's going to kind of have their hands here, brace themselves, trying to push back up. We looked at these little windows here, and then we talked about doing that half Nelson, right? Where I went under the armpit, around the neck, right? And I come out to the side, roll them over. More complicated than that, but we're going to do some half Nelsons here in a minute, so there's no need to get into the nitty gritty. So that's one breakdown, really common, really effective up to a certain point. And then we're going to introduce another one today. I'm going to have Coach Braun show. It's called an elbow chop. And so again, we're always trying to, it helps if you think of this person like a table, right? And if I'm trying to smash this table down, if it's got sturdy 4 legs, it's going to be hard. Take one of those away, it's going to be easier, right? That could be the angle here. So, one of the legs or one of the arms, if we can isolate those while we're driving, that's going to help with that breakdown. And then we'll go over a couple of different half Nelson options from there and really talk about any other good people. Okay? So, Coach Braun, they're all yours. We'll get going with a little elbow shot. Make sure you're listening.
I'll have Coach Steingarber face that way. That way you guys will see the arm part of this. So we call it an elbow chop, but I'm not actually going to chop, okay? That's the first thing. I'm going to be on that elbow. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give that elbow a good tug, okay? And I want to bring his elbow to his hip. And at the same time that I'm doing that, I want to be driving it forward, okay? That's all it is. It's pretty easy. But what I do with that arm there kind of depends on me. I've got some options of what I can do. I can just stay on that elbow, drive him forward and flatten him out that way. Or if Coach Steingarber stands up here real quick, after I chop, I can come here. This is called a cross wrist. So this was the belly hand, right? And I chopped this and I brought this elbow to the side. I grabbed this wrist. Now I'm going to pull this arm across. What I want to do is I want to bring this hand to this opposite hip. Okay? That's called a cross wrist. Okay? Or a third option would be I pull this in, I get this cross wrist, and then this hand that was on the outside, I can come into the inside. That's called a 2-on-1. Makes sense, right? I got 2 of my hands on one of his, right? And I'm going to drive it forward that way. Okay, so those are options. And when I show you, I can show you turning combinations from all 3 of those situations. I almost always like to have hand control. We like to teach hand control, okay? So whether it's a 2-on-1 or it's a cross wrist, and I really like the cross wrist a lot because I don't have to use one hand for that. And I'll keep my other hand here. As I pull this across, I'll keep my other hand here. So that's what I'm going to end up doing. And I show that while he's standing up because when he's on the mat, you're not going to be able to see that. But this is what's going to happen here, okay? Does that make sense to everybody? What's this called again? Everybody say it. Cross wrist. What's this called? 2-on-1. What's this called? Nope. And no, I'm sorry. What's this called? The elbow shot breakdown. Okay. I didn't do anything else with that hand. Okay. And like I said, I can take this and I can strike it forward to on that. Okay. So coach, can you back down now? Now, the other thing I'll tell you guys, we talk about this all the time, is having that mentality, whether I'm top man or bottom man, hitting the first move. Hitting the first move is really, really important. Coach is talking about, we teach the position we talk about for the bottom man because on the whistle, you're in a position that if you have that desire to get up and to free yourself, you're in a better position to do that there. Well, just same way with our top man. We're giving yourself a good position here, and so it's not going to help me at all if I wait about 5 or 10 seconds before I try to do anything. So I want to do this right off the whistle. Man, it's a really, really huge thing. It goes along with Coach talking about being in a sloppy position, whether you're top man or bottom man. If you're in a sloppy position, it says, to me, it says like you don't have any idea of wanting to get out. If you're underneath or really breaking them down. Okay? We want to break them down now. We're talking about top man. We want to break them down. So I'm in my good starting position here. Okay? And on the whistle, okay, all I'm going to do is bring this elbow to his hip. And at the same time, I'm going to drive him forward. Okay? So I didn't do that at first because I'm going to break this down a little bit. Here's what we always say too. Go talk about that power foot back here. Okay? Well, as I get ready to drive forward, he said we want to have the stomach on the mat and the hips on the mat. Okay? Well, I could use this back foot to drive it into his hips to flatten those hips out. So I'm pulling that back. I'm taking that table leg away, and I'm driving it forward, and he should go to his belly. Okay? And I will tell you right now, I'm going to do an elbow chop to a cross wrist. Okay? So it's going to look like this. Go here, boom, right here, drive it forward. Now, what I did, and this is guys' terms. We're usually working with guys, so I'm not going to try to embarrass you or anything else. We say knee up the butt. Okay? And what I did is that foot drove, and that knee, and I'm straddling his leg right here. Okay? And I have the cross wrist right here. And so I did what I wanted to do. His hips are flat, his chest is flat, and I've got hand control. That's my goal. That's my objective. Okay? So now I'm going to have Coach face that way, and I'll do it again, and you can watch how I break the hips down. Because here's one of the things. If I don't work on breaking the hips, I'll get his chest down to the mat, and his hips will still be up. And that's, as a coach, I can always tell if my wrestler did a really good job of putting the knee up the butt and driving forward, break the hips. We want to break the hips, and we want the chest on the mat. So I'm here, 1, 2, 3, up here, drive, now. Now, what happens if I come off to the side? Okay, well, I got his chest on the mat, but I didn't take care of his hips. Okay, my knee's not anywhere close to being on the butt, right? Then go here, boom, right here, break those hips. Now I got chest on the mat, I got hips on the mat, and I got hand control. That's what I want to do. Okay, I can show a 2-on-1. Here, go elbow chop right here. Now this outside hand comes inside, boom, drive, goes drive. I got my 2-on-1. I got my chest on his back. I got the hips covered, and I got hand control. Okay? Or, if I don't want to grab the arm at all, I go right here, and just grab it forward right here. Right there. And if I like to do an arm bar, or even if I want to do just a regular inner side half, I won't do anything with this arm because, like Coach was saying, if bottom guy's got to do 2 of them, you got to bring that hand up. Oh, we got to close that hand. Now you can come inside. Now I can start working on your side half. Okay, or I can go on top. This is a whole other move that we're not going to get into yet. I can attack this near side arm. Okay? So I have options there off of our elbow chop. But again, I want belly on the mat, hips on the mat, I want hand control. And even if I didn't grab that other arm, if I don't have 2-on-1 or a cross wrist, just having that outside of that arm, I still have hand control. Okay?
You want to drill that before we go to a turn? Okay. So we'll just drill from that position, right? A couple minutes, just to get comfortable with getting the breakdown, right? And getting the wrist control, either having the cross wrist or 2-on-1. Let's make sure we're doing those ones now. We don't have to have the wrist, but let's practice those just so you guys can have it. My theory is if you can get a wrist, right? That takes away one thing that they can operate with.
Can I add one quick little thing? One thing I see that's very common among wrestlers all through high school guys, the key to executing these moves is, like Coach was stressing, wrist control and hand control all throughout that. Keep that control throughout the entire move. I see a lot of guys let go of things too soon, and then you're not able to finish the move. So when you break them down, don't forget that you're still holding that 2-on-1 or that cross wrist. Don't let go of it just because you push them down to the mat. Keep it, and then you can think about working your next move once he's broken down.
And in our case, the moves that we're gonna show you guys, I have to keep that stuff. So that's a great point, because I'm gonna have to keep that. We're gonna jump across and we're gonna hit a switch hands half, we call it. And if I don't hang on to that hand all the way down, I'm not gonna be able to hit that.
Just
So
with any wrestling move, a double leg, if you let go of it before you secure your points, you're not gonna get your points because you'll roll out of it. Hold on to what you got throughout the entire move.
So let's work that a couple minutes. So just remember, you're chopping the wrist. One thing that helps a little kid sometimes, right, is talking about it's like a catcher's mitt, belly button here. It's kind of gonna come here to catch that wrist, right? So let's get a partner. Let's just drill a couple breakdowns, doing that elbow chop, getting either wrist control, either cross wrist or the 2-on-1. We'll help you out. 1, 2. There we go. Here we go. We're almost there. About 10 minutes here. We'll learn a turn or two, and then we'll do a live and call it good. All right. So getting that top. So
spread out, spread out, spread out, spread out.
Once you get down.
Remember, make sure you get that great arm position. Whatever
So
you're
okay,
ready.
you're right. So you got the wrong one. The
You go top position.
So then the one that puts on the mat. Knees right side. Take it. You just had your feet. You had to put it up here. And then just put my feet behind because you're gonna drive in it. So now, so you're gonna pull that in, and your belly button is gonna be waiting for your wrist. Yeah. So just kind of chop your you're trying to bring yours close to the ribs. And now the other one grabs that wrist. Now drive her forward. Boom, right there. She's taking away that elbow. She's got to eat that. Hey, he didn't make you pay, did he? Go storage, are you paid? Yeah. Okay. You did pay?
No.
Okay,
All
I'll
right,
say
girls,
yeah.
while we're doing this, work on your starting position. I want to see girls not focusing on the starting position on bottom.
Drive forward. You drive. Okay, hey, we start up. Hey, remember, so as I'm pulling, you're gonna try to pull her elbow into her ribs. Now the hand that's on the belly button's gonna be kind of like a catcher's mitt to grab that wrist across. So that's what you skip to get that wrist. So you don't even. Don't worry about pushing her forward to get that wrist. Pull that elbow in. Now you can take it away. So yeah, grab the wrist. Boom. There you go. That's what you do. So, no, it's good. I like that. Yeah. I don't even my knee to the head, and then you already have that angle. So that hand will grab that elbow. Remember, you're just trying to pull her elbow to the rib. And the other hand is catch her elbow. Grab her wrist. Okay. Hold this in. Now you're ready to drive forward. You ready?
Oh, look at!
That's where that knee comes in.
You're not
Drive forward. Good spot. You guys get it? I didn't see you. I don't believe you. I'm just joking. Well, let me just see. So I know. So just try to fold her elbow in, and the other one's going to be for that wrist. Okay, you got the wrist? You got the cross wrist? Oh, no. So, yeah, so don't even flush her down until you get that wrist. Let's go one more time. So pull that elbow in, and then your other belly button hand will be here ready to grab that wrist. Okay. Got it? Yeah, now drive her forward. If she's a little, a little bigger for your arm. But that's the right thing. If you get that wrist, you should still be able to get it. That tight. Trust me, I wrestled heavyweight college. The weight class is 285. It's like, people learn these moves. There, like, this isn't going to work for some of us. Hold it in, grab it up. Right forward.
Now.
Hey, that's time. Hey, like I've been saying the whole time, this is kind of, we're kind of drinking out of a, fire hydrant here. So much stuff that we're fire hose, I don't know what the expression is. Anyway, we're throwing a lot at you real quick, right? But for the most part, I think everybody kind of got that general idea down. We only got about 5 minutes, so I'm going to just have Coach Ron show one turn from here, right? And then I would like to just finish with a little bit live out of referee position. Okay, so listen up. We'll talk about getting to a turn now that we've got. You're going to go switch hands.
I'm gonna go far side.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, that's good. So he's going to show a far side half Nelson here. We'll practice it. We'll wrestle. All good.
Okay, so, couple things. Talking to a couple girls over here, a couple groups. We gotta break the hips. Okay? As long as they're still on their base, I always tell my wrestlers that I don't want you to start turning. We have some terms that will do turns that will instill their base, but I'd rather have them, and I call that top man basics position. I want my top man to know that that's our basics position. That's where we work off of. Okay? So I'm going to break this up. The other thing was a lot of you guys, you were doing an elbow chop really well, but then we weren't remembering to come on and grabbing the wrist, okay? And then grabbing the wrist isn't enough, pull that across. We're taking that table leg away, okay? So what I'm going to show you is this. I'm going to show you a far side half. And a far side half is really, really good to know. And it's a really good thing to be looking for because it almost always happens like this. If I'm going to pressure this side and I'm going to take this table leg away, you watch. When I break him down, he's going to take his other arm and he's going to post that other arm up. Okay? And now that's going to give me a window to throw my half in. But I never throw a half in on the other side that I'm on. I'm going to be on this side, and I'm going to want to throw a half on that side. So I've got to jump across. Okay? And then I'll throw my half. We call this a far side half. Okay? So I'm here. I go here. Oh, look at all the pressure right there. Oh, anybody see a window there? Okay, so look at how I got this shoulder down. Okay, I'm going to jump across. Now, because I don't have anything else here, I'm just going to post this shoulder here. I got this window right here. I'm going to throw my half in. Now, go talk about finish position. Ladies, take your time on this because I can go too fast and coach can actually catch me out of position on this. So I'm going to get my half Nelson in. I'm going to start driving it. I'm posting this shoulder here because I don't have a wrist that I can grab. And I'm not going to let him slide here. This hand is posted on the outside of the shoulder here. I'm going to drive this. When this shoulder gets up to the ceiling, I'm going to readjust my chest. And I lower it so that I can get that half Nelson in deep. I call this elbow deep. So I was here. I'm sinking in elbow deep. I'm going to drive. Now, I'm lifting the head. This hand that was close to the shoulder, close to the mat. And I'm not going to throw my weight on it because I only weigh about 10 pounds more than him, but I don't want to hurt it too much. I'm going to go chest to chest. I should be on my toes with the wide base like my sprawl. And I call this perpendicular. You older ladies are smart enough. You know, he's going this way, I'm going this way. It's perpendicular. In our youth club, we say tee out. Make a T, okay? And I am really, really particular about that finish position. And I'm going to show you why. If I try to hurry this and coach catches me, I'm going to have to go through it. Very much. My turn. So I'm going to break it down. I'm going to jump across. I'm going to throw my half in. I'm going to go too fast. And I'm going to show you what's going to happen. So I go here. I break it down. I got this posted. I jump across. I get this in. I'm going to get it. Oh. Oh. He rolled me through. Why? Because I was lazy. I was lazy because I wanted to do, I'm going to pin. I didn't take my time. I gotta take my time. Okay? So I'm here, boom, break it down. Okay, oh, look at, I see that. Post, jump across, get my half in, right here. Oh, I see the shoulder pointing to the ceiling. Readjust. Get this elbow deep. Look at my elbows underneath his head right now. I drive, I post, wide base, on my toes, lift the head. And even this one I can call him king. Even he'll call it king. Okay? Sometimes I have to remind referees, it's a short leg.
All right, hey, let's get some reps in, because we're at 6:15 right now. We'll drill up for maybe 2-3 minutes, we'll end with a little live scrap, and then we'll get going.
Far side half.
So yeah, we'll go around and help you. Yeah, do nice like you're a python, just sinking it in nice and slow, all right? 1, 2. Hurry, hurry, hurry. Hey, let's get 3 or 4 each wrestler here.
So let's get to the double chop. So we got broken down first. Okay? Broken down first. So yeah, we got short position. Okay, you got double chop. Boom, there. You're gonna post the straight with your now, you're gonna jump across the right side. Okay, so just that towards your side. Just jump across the right side. With your right arm. Under the arm. Yeah, under the arm. Now you're gonna start driving. Start driving that way. Yeah. Okay, now stop. Your shoulders up there. Sink it in elbow deep. Sink it in elbow deep. Follow your elbow underneath your head. Boom, take her over. Okay, now get that chest to chest. Are you chest? Yeah, I know. Just chest you on your toes. On your toes. Not your knees right now. I want you on your toes. Now, we're a little high there. We're a little high there. So you're not chest to chest. We're going to come back a little bit, chest to chest. Finish off that a little bit. There, no shot. There, forward. Close your left shoulder. Spin it out forward with your head. Push your left hand on the mat. Fingers across. I didn't grab onto this like this. You didn't grab onto this like So here's the problem. All of her weight, so this side, lying. So it goes back. You're happy on this side. So you can bring her over the head. And then now, whenever you get it out, then we're going to get your chest to chest, that's good. On your toes, right there. Tighter, you jump on it. So what you have to do is grab what you did was the near side. You did the near side because that's where you're going to go. I'm teaching the far side because right here. Your pressure. So as long as you look at I'm going to go on the side and I'll go No, we're gonna elbow chop. We're gonna really drive your left shoulder down hard. Pressure left shoulder. Okay, so now you don't have a window. Now what do you do? You guys all time on?
Yeah.
So I would tell you that's a whole other thing. But I would tell you there's not a window. I would still fucking Hey, can you try this? She runs on the eye. You want to try to see if I can get her to see that window. I just want to see if I can get her to see that window. Yes, right there. See that window? Jump across. Now you got to jump over here. You got to jump over here. There you go. You got that in. Take your time. Take your time. You have to shoulder that open up and slow when that comes up. So now you're going to readjust your chest. You know, you have to be able to show because I want your elbow underneath your neck.
Hey,
I want your elbow underneath your neck.
Yep. Hey, we'll go one live go here, okay?
That was good.
Hey, we're just gonna go from neutral. We're just go one, like 90-second match here. We'll call it good. We're over time, okay? So we'll start in neutral, even though we're working on that. So everybody, if you have a partner you can go live with, let's get in our good stance. Spread out, make sure we got space. We can rotate here. You guys want to wear glasses?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Dave, we'll go here for a minute and a half. Just live rotate. Don't just try to make sure we stay in the middle so they don't have try to minimize the traffic.
Whoever, not number.
No, it's even, but it's.
Oh, yeah. Well, we can go group of three where you guys rotate, take down.
Yeah, she's gonna wait.
You wanna do that?
So we'll just go whatever so you can take them. Rotate it out. We'll help you out.
Why?
All right, hey, let's get going. I can feel the parents' eyes on me. Personal hold here. What's going on here? Hey, but we gotta get a little scrapping in. Okay, shake hands, wrestle hard, and wrestle.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Press it.
Okay, that was a good shot. Good try. Hands. That was a good shot. Make sure you don't choke there. Though. Right forward. Get in there, get those wrists, get those arms. Move. Oh, good cat. Watch out, Jamie. Control. Daily, you ready to come in on score one? Me or she hurt? Push that head out.
Let me get closer. Trying to get some legs. Finish it, Emmy. Keep pushing. Almost.
10 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 4,
Keep going.
2, 1. Time. Hey, way to scrap. Way to get after it. Hey, everyone, let's just take about 2 laps of walking. Get our air back. We'll break down and get out of here. 3 shots tonight.
Good work, ladies.
Good job. Breathe, breath.
Really?
Good.
I just wore out. You just saw
I don't know about that. All right, hey, you got bring it here. Hey, good job again. Hey, I'm glad to see some. Hey, some of you guys have been here. Who's been here every week? Anyone? We're gonna have to come up with a prize or something here. That's awesome. But hey, you know, it's also for you can't get in here. It's not the end of the world either.
The prize is you get to go minute with coach.
There you go. Yeah, I don't know. Tonight would be a good night for it because I'm not very mobile. But we'll come up with something, right? Maybe a shirt or something. But the point is, you're doing yourself a big favor, and even you, you know, whoever just showed up tonight for the first time, good for you, right? Try and don't think that you're too late getting in here. We got, I think, at least two, maybe 3 more of these left. Okay, so keep coming if you have been coming. If you're just here for the first time tonight, come back, right? And if you know other people at your school or any other friends, don't get in here and try it out, right? You never know until you come try it out. It's not going to be it's not like a huge commitment you have to make, right? To come see what it's all about. But hey, good job. I really every week I say I'm impressed by you. This is one of my favorite tracks that's come. It's just I love the focus. I love you guys are in here eager to learn. You guys pick stuff up so quick. Not even a quarter of the messing around and behavior I got to deal with these knucklehead boys that we deal with during the week. But they're a lot younger too. But I just am really impressed by you guys, and so I hope you guys are having a good experience. Just keep coming back, okay? Excited to see. Yeah, excited to watch you guys in action. Coach, anything to add before we break it down?
Yeah, what I would say is, like Coach was saying, here's the advantage you guys are getting. You guys get to your high school programs, and you're going to have girls that hadn't done any preparation or anything else. And you guys are going to have an idea of concepts. And we talk about basics, and Well, when we talk about this, a lot of people say, oh, you know, that's just the really low level stuff. You have to have the basics. And I'll teach basics to the senior level people. I've had opportunity to work with senior level people. And if they don't have good basics, you guys, and it comes down stance, motion, you know, positioning, setup, attack, finish, all those same things we're teaching you guys. So you guys have to get that concept in, you get that thought process in, you guys will be ahead. And then hopefully, you know, your coaches will be able to add to what you guys are doing. And then like I hope to get out and see some of you guys compete. Because in this room, I feel like we have some ladies that could do well. Because I think you want to. And that's the first thing. Okay?
Yep, absolutely. All right, good job, Dana. Let's break it down. We'll go girls on 3. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and hopefully see everybody back here next week. All right. 3, 2, 1. Girls.
Girls.
Oh, that was me. Hey, no. Do that. I think I threw you up because I said 1, 2, 3 and then counted down. I know. Okay. We're gonna count down. All right. We gotta make this a little louder. 3, 2, 1. Girls. All right, there we go. Hey, thanks for your help, Joel. Appreciate it. Amy, good job.
Oh.
Coach Steiner will bring some of his girls for you. We've got a couple of them.
There you go. Thank you. Let's change shoes.
Girls over here. Tell Carter I said hello. All right. Good job, girls. They're doing it.
Woo. I did.
We gotta get home. Even as a football game, so tonight we gotta go there. Yeah, I like watching. On what? Or what? Pictures of stuff. If Gabe makes a touchdown and I'm not there to see it, I like to go watch him. Like I like to watch you. You said you got time if we hurry up. We can go home. Your job will get before we gotta go.
Oh, really? Yeah. I've got a feeling later you get there. You get the spare parts and the whole thing. Well, you think your wife can use it. All right, buddy. I will see you Wednesday. Yeah. You're good. There's another kid there tomorrow. Did you get that email? Okay, I didn't. I'm sure that's right.
In your
I'll
resume.
put a shirt thing on here. I don't remember where it's from.
Oh no. That's brutal.
Where do you guys all go to? I can't remember.
We'll actually.
Marion. Okay, good.
All 3 of them, Marion.
Oh, okay.
Marion.
Yeah, good. I didn't talk to Coach Bear. I will tell you guys.
Jordan 6.
We go your
Oh,
route.
okay, well, good. I'm glad you said
Thank you.
We go.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Water.
So how's she doing that? Is it small groups with you guys? So, yeah. Yeah, you guys are smart to get this back before you start. How's that girl's collarbone doing? Poor thing.
I think he's.
Feeling. There's not really anything you can do for collarbones. It takes time.
Oh, she has a backpack now?
Yeah, we upgraded your backpack.
All right. Good job tonight. Good job, man.